In today's episode of Shattering Famous Fitness Myths, is training for 90 minutes per day better for you than training for 60 minutes on a lean muscle gain perspective? Well, the answer might surprise you. Now, so many people plan their workouts with how much duration they have in their busy lifestyle. For example, if I have a workout session and I think it's going to take 75 to 120 minutes, and if I slightly fall short, let's say I just have like 60 minutes, then I'll just skip the workout and do it tomorrow. This is an issue. And I'm here to tell you otherwise. You can train a muscle group for just 4 sets per week and still see significant muscle gains. And as always, I'm not talking from my pocket. Let's look at 2 studies. Now, the first paper is for people who are not really experienced lifters. This paper by Matthew Haroon and colleagues saw people gain strength when you perform 3 sets as opposed to 1 set per muscle group. Now, of course, this is helpful if you're someone who's really looking for proper strength gains. But if you're someone who doesn't really care if they'll be able to lift their neighbors all to 800 and are, kind of okay with a decent amount of strength, better than the average individual and a fabulously sculpted physique, you can get away with under 3 sets per muscle group, as long as you take it to failure and program it with the rest of the sessions in mind. Now, the second paper is for more experienced lifters, done by Carl J. and colleagues. Here, 27 men were put on a 10-week training protocol where some of them did low, moderate and high volume sets, basically low number of sets, moderate number of sets per muscle group and very high number of sets for every muscle group. All 3 groups gained muscle and there was no significant difference between muscle size increase amongst these 3 groups. And not just that, they also saw testosterone and cortisol concentrations in the urine, and that had nothing to say as well in terms of significant difference. In fact, this study recommends low volume, high intensity training sessions over a 10-week period for experienced lifters who are looking to gain muscle for better efficiency. So there's the verdict. If you're a recreational lifter, you don't need a ton of sets to grow muscle. You need just enough. But if you're someone who's experienced and wants to tap every ounce of muscle gaining potential, of course, adding more sets is definitely going to help long term, especially as you get more seasoned. So in my case, given that I'm a coach, this is my full-time job. I don't need to dedicate time away from my 9 to 5 or whatever, someone is doing for their livelihood, for their career, to actually dedicate time. So I can actually spend a lot of time training. But if you're someone who's not like that, you have a regular life, family life, love life with your children, having commitments, get-togethers, all of that put together, if you don't have sufficient time, you don't have to go toil for hours on end in the gym. If you have a smart training protocol that has low volume, but proper intensity and proper sets that are taken to failure, you can still build an amazing physique. Remember, as per this, the difference in the muscle gain potential of a low volume performer to a non-gym goer is way higher than the difference in the potential to gain muscle in a low volume performer versus a high volume performer, especially if you're a casual lifter. Catch you on the next one.